with your Utah Hockey Club. Is a copyright issue going to change the new name?
So the Utah Hockey Club, we're facing some trademark hurdles, right? The preferred name, as far as we believe, as Utah Hockey Club fans, is the Utah Yeti. Obviously,
some people prefer.
Yeah, some people prefer. But obviously, the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office rejected the application due to a likelihood of confusion with the existing Yeti brand of coolers and issues. Period.
Yeah. Before we move on for that, I want to talk about that first.
Okay.
Utah Yetis was the name that got submitted and got rejected.
Correct.
I've been on the record very clear about this. I do not like the pluralization of Yetis. I think they put it in the pluralization so they wouldn't have to deal with this issue.
Right.
And I think the issue happened anyway, which is unfortunate because I just don't. The Utah Yeti is just much better than the Utah Yetis. Are they a bunch of like?
Is it a whole herd of Yetis?
That's like
it's a whole herd, man.
Yeah, it's not great. I don't like it.
You pretty much nailed it though, right? Like, so obviously April 9th is like their deadline. They have till April 9th to appeal, provide more evidence supporting that they deserve to use Yeti however they want to use it, right? There's obviously other potential team names. They've still got Utah Blizzard, Utah Venom, Utah Outlaws. But funny enough, Utah Hockey Club was actually rejected.
Yep.
On the grounds that Utah is too generic to be trademarked.
Yeah.
Okay. You can't trademark the word Utah. That's a state.
Guess not.
So I don't know. I mean, what's your thoughts on this, right? Like obviously Yeti's going to face some hurdles. I've got one more side that I want to pitch to you, but I want to hear your opinion on this first.
So let's talk about the 6 potential names, right? So Utah Blizzard, Utah Mammoth, Utah Outlaws, Utah Hockey Club, Utah Venom, and Utah Yetis were all submitted, right? Utah Blizzard and the Utah Hockey Club, Utah Venom, and Utah Yeti were all rejected. The only two the Blizzard was rejected. Utah Outlaws and Utah Mammoth were the only two that weren't.
Right.
4 names were rejected. 2 were not due to likelihood concerns with confusion of existing brands, whatever you have there. You mentioned there that they have 3 months from January 9th to respond to this evidence. This is one of the things that was said from there. While facing setbacks, Utah fans are incredibly supportive of the team and stay committed to be involved with the community on the final decision. Here's what I'm thinking, man. I think it doesn't matter. I think this was by design. They did. There's a reason why there hasn't been another poll that came out after we got the top 5 or top 6 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
There's a reason why there's not another poll that's come out, because this was the plan all along. They're going to submit trademarks for the 5 most popular, the 6 most popular, and see which ones we're going to come back just to see which ones we're going to require more effort to secure an actual name. I don't think this changes the chance for the Utah Hockey Club to have the Utah Yeti or, the Utah Hockey Club or the Utah Outlaws be their name. I just think that this just lets them know which names are going to be a little bit more effort. And while Utah Outlaws and Utah Mammoth weren't contested at all, I think the team is just doing some smart research to make sure they understand what their next steps are going to be.
Do you want to know my take on this, which is in an article on KSL today?
What's that?
I've got 2 words for you, and it's Seattle Kraken. Do you have any idea what that has to do with this?
I saw their name on the article that popped up that came up earlier today, because there was an article 2 days ago and there's another one today.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'd like to hear what you think.
Okay.
Kraken.
The Seattle Kraken, obviously, I don't know if you've ever heard of Kraken rum.
Oh, are you kidding me? Really?
So when the Seattle Kraken first introduced their name, guess what happened?
Did they not get a patent for it?
They absolutely. I mean, yeah, absolutely. The U.S. Patent and Trademark Office said you cannot use the name Kraken.
And so they just did it anyway?
No. You know what they did? Guess who their very first partnership was as soon as they named the team?
Yeah, I saw.
Kraken Rum.
Yeah, I saw.
Release the Kraken.
Yeah.
Why would Utah Hockey Club not partner with Yeti?
Well, I just think, honestly,
if they want to use the name, partner with Yeti. You put Utah Yeti on every damn cup those guys own.
I don't know, man. I think, like I said, I just don't think that that's where their heads are at. I just don't think they care at this point. That may be the end goal. Brody Brazil had a great point about that on his video about teams. potentially partnering or just simply circumventing the patent office altogether and just being like, hey, let's work this out. Let's figure it out.
Right.
Are you gonna feel impinged about the fact that our team says Utah Yeti while your cups say Yeti? As long as they're like a completely different font, is it really gonna infringe? Can we work something out? I think that's something that Brody Brazil talked about in his video on this. But yeah, I think that's a good point. Like, it's just a launching off point for those kind of things. I just think it's just everybody's worried about something that was just part of the original plan already anyway, and maybe we want to go, but the fact that it was Yetis and not Yeti is the part that really irks me. Just because I don't want this team to be called the Utah Yetis. I think that just sounds ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense.
You're really against the plurals, and I love it.
I am. It's just dumb. Why would you want to pluralize Yeti?
It's really funny because you've been saying this since the original naming came out. You're like, it's better. It better be singular.
It better
Outlaw.
be. Utah Outlaws way better than Utah Outlaws.
Venoms.
Yeah, you can't say Venoms. Like, that's one's not even pluralized. Like, it's great. Yeah, the Utah Mammoth was submitted without a pluralized. So that's why it's now my new favorite. Because the Mammoth isn't pluralized. So I'm down with that. But yeah, no, I don't know, man. I think it's a good idea. I think it's a good point. It does kind of I just think everybody's kind of getting way too ahead, way too in front of the skis on this one. I just think it's just a normal part of the process. We'll see what happens next.
Right. They're going to work it out. Like, if that's the name they want, they're going to submit whatever they need to and show that, hey, this is a hockey team, Utah Yeti, that they'll always be together or whatever, right? Like, it'll always be the Utah Yeti. We won't just be Yeti.
Yeah, it's not just gonna have a shirt that just says Yeti on it,
Yeah, and it won't be the Y, block letters, whatever.
Yeah, they'll submit an appeal and it'll all be good. I just think it's part of the process.
Let's get to some of these comments, man.
Greg Hawkins jumps in and says, good, Yeti sucked.
Great point. Still not a biggest fan of Yeti.
Yeah, I hate that nickname. Yeah, for sure. You also put in here Yeti, gross. It just sounds gross. And merch, I don't want
snow monster on all of my shirts.
Exactly. And like, there's gonna be a whole group of them, or is it just one? So if you have one,
it's a bunch of them. It's a whole herd of Yetis.
So if you have a Yeti on your shirt, but we're called the Yetis, like, or is it just gonna be a whole bunch of abominable snowman?
Yeah, it has to be multiple Yetis on your shirt. It can't just be one because the trademark name is Yetis.
Yeah, I just not a big fan. And then Utah Hockey Club is partnered with Stanley, and Yeti doesn't. Oh, that's a good point.
On the Stanley branded merchandise. I didn't know that. Are they partnered with Stanley?
Yeah, they're Stanley mugs and Swig.
I did not actually know that.
Yeah, if you look at every Jazz game, they have the Stanley cups.
Yeah,
with the Swig logo on them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you see that also. You assume it'd be the same for the hockey. I haven't seen the cups on there on the broadcast.
Isn't the state of Utah just like formally associated with Stanley mugs? Like, I feel like it's totally a Utah thing.
Or Mom Talks, yeah.
Where's your Stanley Cup at? I'm sure there's one in here somewhere, Darren.
I don't have a Stanley Cup.
Dang.
I have 3 Yetis though.
See, actually, I don't think I have a Stanley. I do have some Yetis. Though.
Yeah, I got a couple of Yetis.
Funny as that is.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I just don't think you're going to confuse the two, man. I just think you're going to have different. As long as the font isn't the same, and as long as the Utah Hockey Club doesn't have Yeti on there without Utah on it, I think it'd be just fine, man. Doesn't make any sense to me. That's a problem. Anyway, we want to hear from you folks. Let us know what you think in the comments down below when it comes to your Utah Hockey Club. Are you concerned about this copyright issue? Does it mean anything to you? Is it something, nothing, or is it everything? I don't know. I kind of think of it as a nothing burger.
Yeah, make sure you guys leave us a comment. So let us know what your favorite name is for the new Utah Hockey Club renaming. We want to hear it.
Yeah. So on the concept of the Utah Hockey Club, by the way, did you notice that we gained some distance over the last few weeks?
Yeah, we've been winning.
Yeah. So we've got last time we've talked the last 2 episodes in a row before we talked about the upcoming homestand in January where they had 8 straight games at home. And then when we talked about how that wasn't going well, how they were 1-3 in the homestand. Since then, they have gained. Let's see here. If I look at this as it is now.
Yeah, and Greg Hawkins just commented saying they're up 3-0 on the Wild right now, which is funny because I just got a notification on my watch that they're leading 3-0.
Oh, nice. So if we go into the standings there, we go into the Western Conference standings right now. That's the wild card. Don't care about that. That's the Eastern. Why isn't this scrolling?
My whiskey's empty.
This is great content here.
It's horrible.
So right now the top seed is we're back down to 10 again The top 7 make it into the playoffs. So we're back down to 10.
We're down to 10.
Yeah, we're back down to 10 again. So yeah, that kind of shot. But did we lose yesterday or something? What happened? No, they've won 2 in a row. So why aren't we sitting at? We're sitting closer. I don't know. We'll have to dive into that on another future episode for sure. But yeah, we want to hear from you folks. Let us know what you think in the comments down below when it comes to that. What's your preferred name? If it's not the Utah Yeti, Utah Hockey Club, which one do you prefer? Do you think they're going to go after one of the non-competitive ones, or what do you think is going to happen there? We'd love to hear from you. All right, let's go ahead and pivot on over and talk a little bit about. Hang on a second here. Oh yeah, we got the notes there from Greg Hawkins. We're 4 points behind in the second wild card. Okay.
Yeah, in the second wild card team.
Yeah, the top 7. I think
we need to get we need to score some goals and win some of these games, right?
Yeah. We just may need to get more points, man. Overall, if we're a win tonight, we effectively are 1 game back. Right. So if the team ahead of us would be the Kings. Oh no, you're talking about the wild card overall. Yeah. Okay. No, I see what you're doing there. Okay. Interesting. I'd love to dive into that more. We'll definitely dive into that a little bit more in a future episode when we cover the Utah. We're a little long on the tooth there for the college football, so we got to push through.